What's up, ladies and gentlemen, Neon Pow here, and this week we're doing part 13 to What If Naruto Was Raised by the Akatsuki. Now, if you've not seen the previous videos or the movie, I highly recommend you check that out before you watch this part, and that's located in the description and in the card above, so make sure to check those out. Also guys, good to hear from everyone. I am glad I am back with this video, and I apologize for the inactivity, but the support has been phenomenal. Like always, let's try to hit 500 likes on this video just to see what you beast can do. Also, if you're new to the channel and want to stay updated on what's going on here, make sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss out. Simple as that. Now, without further ado, let's go ahead and hop right into the video. We last left Naruto and Sasuke in the Mist Village under the protective watch of their friend Haku. To Naruto's surprise, he was ambushed by one of Danzo's Anbu. However, what he did not expect to find was that Anbu would be his old friend, Kimimaro, who is currently under the brainwash of the tyrant Danzo. Sasuke and Naruto are both lost and confused, especially after the heartbreaking Uchiha napping of their mentor, Itachi. While they possess insane potential, they have no one to guide them towards it. They are sitting ducks waiting to be discovered by Obito or Danzo. Fortunately for them, a wise old acquaintance has finally arrived to their aid after many years of aimlessly searching, as Naruto and Sasuke are sitting in their room looking at their friend Kimimaro unconscious. They hear a knock at their door. Haku opens the door and tells them that they have a visitor. The two boys are confused on who would be visiting them, especially in the Mist Village. As the old man walks in, the long spiky white hair is unmistakable for Naruto. He gasps and exclaims, "It's the pervy sage!" and goes to greet him. He asks what brings him here. Jiraiya just laughs and takes a closer look at Naruto as he hasn't seen him in so long. Now seeing him older and looking with finer attention, Naruto's resemblance to Minato is uncanny. Jiraiya is just full of joy that even though he had made the mistake of missing his godchild the first time, he was able to still see him alive and well, and by the looks of it, much more powerful. Jiraiya couldn't help himself but embrace Naruto. Naruto and Sasuke are now even more confused. After this brief encounter, Jiraiya gets himself back together. He refrains from telling Naruto about his origins and his connection to him for now. He instead brings focus on a more urgent matter, such as what has been going on in the Leaf Village and around the shinobi world. Naruto and Sasuke were aware of certain things, but their sources became slim over the years. They couldn't believe Danzo had put down such a strong iron fist on the village. However, what made them more worried was that the Akatsuki now had a hold of all but 3 of the 9-tailed beasts. However, to put light onto all the bad news, Jiraiya proceeds to tell the boys that he will provide them with the guidance and training needed to handle the upcoming battles. This is exactly what Naruto and Sasuke have been looking for. Now that they have a mentor and a plan on what they can do to prepare, they have to think about what to do with Kimimaro. Could they possibly convince their old friend that didn't even remember them to join their side? They definitely couldn't keep him locked up forever, as Naruto couldn't bear doing that to his friend, and Sasuke thinking it would cause Danzo to raise some suspicion. They would just have to try to talk to him once he awakened. Once Kimimaro awakens, he is greeted with Naruto's face a few inches from his. This of course freaks him out, and he begins squirming to get out. Naruto tells him there isn't any use, and then follows up with a question asking if he remembers who he was to him. Kimimaro begins to ease down, takes a pause, and eventually answers that other than from his current mission, he has no clue about their relationship. Even though Naruto knew this would occur, it still bites him deep down. He then takes a breath and asks if Kimimaro is willing to work with them. Before Kimimaro is able to refuse, Naruto tells him that they already know about his current mission and what Danzo has done to him, including wiping his memories and wanting to regain them. Naruto further tells them that while he can't get his full memories back immediately, he can begin providing information about his past before eventually getting them back from Danzo. This offer does have Kimimaro very intrigued, as it's exactly what he wanted, to feel complete again. However, he doesn't know if he can trust the enemy. Who is Naruto in his eyes currently? Something inside him makes him terrified to disobey Danzo. Regardless, This offer seems like a gamble he should take, as it could benefit him personally and towards his mission by getting Naruto's guard down. Kimimaro, now looking directly at Naruto, agrees to work with them for now. Before Naruto can rejoice, Sasuke quickly comes in and grabs Kimimaro by the neck, whispering in his ear with a serious tone that even if he thinks of double-crossing them, he won't hesitate to cut him in half. Naruto quickly grabs Sasuke off of his friend. By the look of Kimimaro's face, it was clear that Sasuke's message got through to him loud and clear. Kimimaro would have to tread very carefully, as the Uchiha could not be fooled as easily as the Jinchuriki. After all the unfavorable outcomes that have fallen onto our two protagonists, the universe finally looks to be shining a light towards their direction. Naruto, as promised, will need to train Haku on how to access and control his tailed beast's power. However, Jiraiya feels it would be more beneficial to take things in a different order since their time is slim. Since he's been around for a long time, he has learned some tricks and seals that should aid Haku in the initial connection with his tailed beast. While he would be doing that, he has other plans for Naruto. He wants Naruto to go to Mount Myoboku and learn Sage Mode. Jiraiya knows it could be risky as he hasn't confirmed it just yet, but he believes Naruto is truly the child of prophecy. Naruto isn't sure what the new ability entails, but he's super excited to get stronger and save Itachi, and to teach his old family, the Akatsuki, that he isn't a helpless child that they can run over. Jiraiya, for a moment, also thinks that Sasuke could benefit from the sage training, but recalls that Sasuke has been inflicted with Orochimaru's curse mark. He doesn't know the full extent of the mark, but knows it does share some fundamentals to Sage Mode, like nature energy manipulation. This causes him to refrain from inviting Sasuke, as he doesn't know the full implications of the two abilities. While this concern is valid, no one is aware that Naruto too possesses the curse mark on his hand. The only two people that saw it happen was Kabuto and Kurama, who has refrained from mentioning that important detail to Naruto as he has been curious of what it could bring. So that Sasuke won't be bitter about Naruto getting special training, Jiraiya explains that both Kimimaro and Sasuke could learn from each other to better control their curse mark abilities. Since he has some experience in nature energy manipulation, he will teach them how they could relieve the drain of the mark on their bodies. With that, Naruto is sent off to the Toads. Sasuke is left to train with Kimimaro, and Haku is learning to control his tailed beast's power. With Jiraiya's guidance, everyone now has a goal they need to reach to get stronger. As everyone is training, Jiraiya uses this opportunity to better familiarize himself with the current village and tour the Red Light District. After a week of training, everyone seems to have made some solid progress, except for Naruto for some reason. Sage Mode is known to be a very difficult ability to master, as seen from Jiraiya, who has yet to master it completely. However, something seems different in Naruto's case. It's almost like something is holding him back. In our situation, Naruto has much more experience with chakra control and has finer techniques due to his time with the Akatsuki as a child. This training should almost come naturally to him. He's learned how to properly clear his mind and infuse himself with nature energy, but right before he begins his transformation, he is disrupted and begins experiencing pain in his arm. Naruto goes to the Great Toad Sage for assistance. He tells Naruto that there's a large negative force within him that is refusing the natural flow of energy, and that he must learn to subdue it. Naruto isn't sure what exactly that means, but thinks it might be Kurama messing with him. Naruto goes within himself to talk to the tailed beast. He asks, why has he been so uncooperative over the past few months? Naruto explains to Kurama that he does appreciate everything he has done for him, but he cannot let himself be fully controlled, at the risk of the few people he loves getting hurt. Naruto says that he had hoped they were getting closer to being friends and cooperating to fight against the Akatsuki and the masked man that Kurama hates so much. Kurama finally responds with a grunt and tells Naruto that he isn't the one causing the issue with the Sage Mode. Naruto looks very confused and asks, if not him, then what? Kurama then tells Naruto that in their fight against Orochimaru, the snake had left his curse seal on his hand. Naruto is shocked to get wind of this and ask why he never told him sooner. Kurama doesn't answer this. Naruto understands that Kurama is probably angry since he too has been ignoring him. Naruto gets closer to Kurama and apologizes. He was the one who originally asked for the power and should have realized the consequences. Naruto then changes his question and instead asks for Kurama's assistance once again. Not hearing an answer, Naruto tells Kurama that they need to work together if they hope to defeat his old family. As Kurama must be aware, they have already captured many of the other tailed beasts. Naruto then pauses and then softly tells Kurama, with a slight tear down his cheek, that he can't risk losing the last family he has left, that being Kurama. This catches Kurama completely off guard and he looks back. To his surprise, he sees Naruto with tears running down his face, but also with the eyes of a man that is determined to fight. Kurama then begins to chuckle. He thinks to himself that he has never met a human as reckless and determined as Naruto. And on top of that, somehow that charm has rubbed off on him over the years. Kurama tells Naruto he'll be willing to help. Naruto then smiles and thanks his friend. Kurama then begins telling Naruto that the curse mark has a bit of Orochimaru in it and that he would need to overcome his influence. If he could do that, he could harness the power of the seal and assist him in the sage technique he is attempting to learn. Naruto also asks if he attempts it, could he count on him to aid him? Kurama takes a breath and says yes, but mainly agrees because Orochimaru's creepy presence is messing up the vibe in here. He also tells Naruto that this could be a big risk and he could possibly lose everything if he fails. Naruto, completely determined, realizes the consequences and still wants to push on. With that, the two get ready to unleash the power of the curse mark. Naruto's body begins getting covered with the curse mark and his body begins to feel as needles are piercing in its entirety. Naruto begins yelling from the pain, but continues pressing on. As the curse has almost covered Naruto's body, Naruto begins screaming immensely and drops to his knees. He not only feels his body ripping, but his psyche is beginning to alter. He feels negative thoughts surging his mind. He sees images of Itachi being tortured, Sasuke being pierced by Obito, Kimimaru enslaved forever by Danzo, and Kin being forcefully held down. Darkness fills Naruto's mind, and he sees nothing. He is being flooded by despair. Kurama senses that he's losing Naruto and quickly releases some of his chakra to aid him in the control. However, something else rushes into Naruto that Kurama hadn't expected. He then smirks and says even after death he can't get rid of her and hopes she will be able to save him. Naruto has lost all sensation in his body. He feels nothing. He sees nothing. All that is surrounding him is a cold, dark void. However, before he's completely consumed, he begins feeling a strong, bright warmth behind him. He then feels a large embrace that destroys the darkness around him. The pain has stopped and he can finally think clearly again. He then slowly turns around and sees a red-headed woman. He has never met this woman in his life, but for some reason his chest feels heavy and he begins crying, embracing the woman in the process. The chakra he was able to sense around them gave him everything he needed to know. The woman tells Naruto that she is Kushina, his mother, but begins laughing as it seems like he already might have known that. Naruto is speechless. Kushina then tells Naruto that she is very proud of her son. Even with all the bad things that have happened in the past, she is happy to see that Naruto was still able to grow up happy and make plenty of friends. She is even surprised he was able to get closer with the Ninetales. She then says that she doesn't have much time. She understands that Orochimaru has invaded his body and he's trying to influence him. She tells Naruto that he can overcome this. He just needs to focus on the people he wants to protect and keep them close to his heart. She tells him that he needs to create his own peace in the world. She knows he has been raised to think of peace that requires innocent sacrifices, but she knows that Naruto knows that isn't right. There's always another way, and knowing her son, he can accomplish it. Naruto smiles and gives his mother one more hug, thanking her for her help and asks her to keep watching over him. Kushina smiles and says she will as she begins disappearing away. Now that Naruto can think clearly again, he sees Orochimaru manifested before him. Orochimaru tells Naruto that if he wishes to gain the power necessary in saving everyone, he will need his curse to take root. Naruto just looks at Orochimaru and agrees. He does need the curse's power, but he'll be the one calling the shots. As he says this, he charges a Rasengan and smashes Orochimaru with it, vaporizing his image. Naruto then finally regains consciousness and looks around, seeing that he is still on Mount Mayaboko and being confronted by the Toad Sages. The Toads look worried, but Naruto tells them that he was able to win and everything should be okay now. He gets up and is now more determined than ever to get Sage Mode. At this time, we move over to another perspective. We come in contact with Sasori and Deidara. The two are still on their mission to locate the whereabouts of Naruto. The both of them, being capable scavengers, get onto Naruto's trail relatively quickly. However, since Naruto is currently on Mount Mayaboko, he isn't the easiest to track down. Unfortunately for our blonde-haired Jinchuriki, his friends are an easier target. The two Akatsuki members make their discovery of Naruto's current HQ in the Mist Village 2 weeks into everyone's training. Deidara is pretty disappointed that Naruto isn't there and begins gassing up. Sasori, on the other hand, makes a reasonable conclusion that the Jinchuriki is only gone temporarily, as he wouldn't leave behind his friends. While the two Akatsuki have now located their targets, they will not and are not capable of attacking. Even with the two of them, they would not stand a chance against the current Sasuke, Haku, and even Jiraiya, especially since they need most of their targets alive. Fortunately for them, Sasori is quite cunning and develops a plan where they won't need to fight anyone. This plan will be used to lure Sasuke out and force Naruto into their leader Nagato's grasp. In the middle of the night, they send out a message to Sasuke saying that Obito will be going to the Leaf Village to hand over Itachi to Danzo and let him have his way with him. This news infuriates Uchiha. He knows this is exactly what they want him to do, but he can't risk missing the opportunity and getting his brother back, especially before Danzo gets his grasp on him. Sasuke has grown quite strong with his training with Kimimaro and feels more than capable of getting his brother back now. He leaves quickly towards the Leaf Village in rage. And that's where we're leaving this part. Now guys, if you enjoyed the story and are excited to see where it continues, please make sure to hit that like button and keep those comments coming, as I love interacting with you guys. Thank you so much for the support and continuing with being patient with me and keeping up with the channel. Now guys, until the next video, much love, Neon out.